Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Stephanie. This is the week 20, May the 16th through May the 22nd weekly wrap up. Okay, you guys, I don't know how long this is going to be. I am trying to do this unpatched because I didn't like the way that I looked when I had to wear my patch. I don't like the way that I look when I have to wear my patch in videos and things like that. But you can probably notice that my eye is not completely right. So we're going to do this quickly and get through it. I'm still going to talk about the books. It has been a kind of slumpy week again. I only read 3 books that I'll be talking about, but we had a whole bunch go on this week. I started my fitness journey, and it has been fun and exciting, especially since I'm doing some turbo fire, and I actually remember quite a few of the steps that go along with the program. So that's always nice. Now I just have to make sure that I am eating properly and actually doing workouts for 5 to 6 days a week, which I have dragged myself out of the bed to do, all except for my rest day on Wednesday. And I think I might rotate that so that, you know, it's just not always on Wednesday and my body kind of gets used to not working out on a Wednesday, what have you. And then this week I have a lot of things going on as well, which means I'll be out of the house and hopefully it'll be more footage, things like that. I did do the hangout on Friday night. It was nice to sit and chat with some book friends and some patrons. So thank you guys for the ones that showed up. I greatly appreciate that. We had some good discussions about books and things. And I'm definitely going to do that once a month. I think I'll put out a poll to decide, you know, when the best time is for everyone, because I kind of feel like it was kind of limited to the people that are in the United States for one, and for 2, limited to my East Coast people because I did it at 8 p.m. on a Friday night. I do think I'll stick with Friday night or Fridays. If that's going to be a Friday during the day, or maybe I'll switch it around. I don't know. I'll let you guys sort of decide, or maybe I'll just decide, and, you know, those that can show up, and I greatly appreciate it. The book ended up being a really, really cute read, which I'll be talking about later on in this, but I did get some book mail and bookish things. So I am a patron over with India at the Page Turning Posse, and every month for my patronage over there, she sends us samples, and I am super excited to see which samples we got this month. Because they always smell good. I have noticed this is a different packaging than she has had in the past, and she sent passion fruit and guava, and it smells really, really yummy. It smells really good. I can already smell it, and oh, so good, so good. I love a fruity scent. This is definitely one that I'll put upstairs instead of keeping down here. And I think the whole month is like a sort of fruity kind of thing, because this one is Aki Blossom, and super excited to kind of smell this one. Let's see. Ooh, I hope it's not sealed. There we go. Oh, that one smells so good. Oh my goodness. So if you are not part of the Page Turning Posse, you need to get on that, because these are awesome, and it's summertime and you want your house to smell pretty, right? Then I also got my Harlequin box for my Harlequin books that I have a subscription for. They send me 3 to 4 books per month, and it looks like I got 4 books this month. And I got a copy of Good Twin Gone Country by Jessica Lemon. I also got Trapped with the Texan by Joanne Rock. And this one is part of the Texas Cattlemen's Club heir apparent. So this is the next book. Most of the time, these are in advance books as well. So that's always nice. I'll tell you when they come out in just a second. This one is Homecoming Heartbreaker by Josh Wood. And then we have Who's the Boss Now by Suzanne Irving. And these are all set to release in August. These are the August release for the Harlequin Desire line. I'm sure they'll have more. Oh wow, have my address all up there. I'm sure they'll have more books that they're going to be offering, but these are the ones that I received in this box, and I'm super excited about that. And then the final thing that I received was a package from Forever, and they sent me an advance copy of Farrah Roshan's The Dating Playbook, which this series is about 3 women that caught their supposed boyfriend and cheating in the first book, in the Boyfriend Project, and now they have become friends, and this is the second woman in the group that is going to find love. And large letters here: 2 best friends, 1 fake boyfriend, so fake dating aspect in here. And I do believe this has some sports romance feel to it, because the male lead is a NFL player, or wants to be back into the NFL, and a journalist. So I'm excited to read this. And I think that's it. So let's get into the reads, or the books that I did read last week. I started off finishing Jackson, which is Restoration Ranch #1 by LaQuette. I am placing this into romantic suspense and a little bit of historical, because I'll get to that in a second. I give this book 4.25 stars. I give it 3.5 Steam fans. I had it as an ARC. I listened to it as an audiobook because of my whole eye thing. I left it upstairs. But I had actually received a physical copy of this book from the publishing house, and I was super excited to read it, but I wanted to read it on audiobook, and I am really glad that I did, especially since it has historical aspects to this story. So we have Jackson, who is a Texas Ranger, and he is called in to help out Asia, who is a lawyer turned restorer of her family's ranch in Texas. And it's a historical ranch because her great grandfather, I believe it was, went and fought for the Union, and then when he came back, he got that land that is now the ranch, that is now the family's, and it is being passed down to her, to Asia. Asia had some things go not really wrong, but she felt her life wasn't going the way that she wanted to when she was in New York as a lawyer. So she moved back to Texas to take over the ranch from her aunt. And this is Asia and Jackson's story. And, you know, Jackson is sent in to help secure her ranch because some funny things are going on in it. One of the barns gets burned down. And the best thing about this is that, well, there's quite a few good things about this story that I really loved. So the story Asia takes on some ex-convicts, and they're female ex-convicts. And I loved the way that LaQuette talked about these ex-convicts and how they're, I really kind of wanted more about their backstory, but I have a little bit of a feeling that we're going to get those stories in the next couple books, because the next couple books are about the other rangers that we meet in this book. So we have that aspect going on, and then we have the mystery and suspense that's going on. I did feel that it could have been a little bit shorter, but at the same time, I was on the edge of my seat throughout the entire book. There was a historical presence in this book, because Asia tells the story of her family history and ancestry, about the ranch and why it's so special to her. And I was just like, oh my goodness. And like I said in my 60-second thoughts over on TikTok, I really felt that LaQuette studied under the hand of the amazing Beverly Jenkins, because Beverly Jenkins is one of those historical romance writers that I can read at any point. I do have to take my time with her books, but the historical aspect in this book gave me that feeling of, it wasn't overpowering, it wasn't to bring down, it wasn't to focus on the trauma of the ancestry. It was to highlight it and to show that there is growth and that it's something that needs to be known. And I was just like, yes, 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 yes. I loved it. I loved it. Jackson was super swoon worthy. He's a law enforcement guy, and just, yes, so much goodness, so much goodness. He was so swoon worthy. I loved him and his inner thoughts and things like that. It would be nice to see Jackson again in the subsequent books, and I just really, really, really enjoyed this book. I am going to be diving into LaQuette's back list, and I can't wait to read more from her. The next book that I finished was The Beach in Winter, Lion's Family #1 by Leslie Pike. This is a contemporary. This was our buddy read for the month, and I give it 4 stars. I give it 2.5 Steam fans. I read it as an ebook, and it was for our book club, like I said. And there are quite a few content warnings in this one, so it really kicks you in the gut right off the bat. You start off talking or hearing about death and grief and all of that kind of stuff, trauma, overcoming, forgiveness, yeah, all just like right in the beginning. So we have Parrish, who is a writer that has some tragic things happen to him, and he lives on the beach in Maine. And then we have Scarlett and Sam. Scarlett is Sam's aunt. Sam's parents die in a traffic accident. Scarlett becomes his guardian, and they live next door to Parrish. Scarlett finds Parrish on the beach drunk one night and ends up putting a blanket over him. Come to find out, that happened to be a special blanket to Sam. And this story is about friendship, about forgiveness, about I guess like allowing grief and, you know, taking those extra steps, the different layers of dealing with grief and sort of overcoming grief. And I really appreciate that. I am excited to read the rest of the series. There are 2 more books that will be coming out. Leslie has said that I don't know which family members it's going to be about, but I think it's going to be about Scarlett's brothers, the next 2 books, but I'm not sure. But I did really appreciate the story. And then the final book that I finished last week was The Pearl by Tiffany Reese. This is the 3rd Godwic's book in the series, and I place this in erotica. I give it 4.25 stars. I give this book 5 Steam fans. Oh my goodness. I was listening to this while I was working out. Woo! To cover up the sweatiness. Woo! Of those steamy scenes. Oh my goodness. If you have read any of the other Godwic stories, then you know how steamy they are. If you've read any Tiffany Reisz books, then you know how good they are, or how hot and steamy they are. Oh my goodness. This explores, I actually had this as an ARC last year, but this is the first time that I've gotten a chance to read it, and I listened to it as an audiobook through Hoopla. Thank you. And this explores lots and lots of things. The dom sub aspects of BDSM, of accepting it into your life. So this book follows Arthur and Regan. Arthur is the descendant and first son in the Godwic line. So in the red, I believe it's the red. Yes, I believe it's the red, then the rose. So in the red, you meet the parents. In the rose, you meet the sister. And then in the pearl, this one right here, you meet the son, the oldest son. You actually meet both sons, but it's very much about Arthur and him being the oldest son and wanting to sort of live up to what his expectations are as the son in the family and the one that's going to be taking over the title. Things that his grandfather has done or great grandfather has done in the past. Malcolm, if you followed the series, then you know sort of the little bits and pieces that are suggested and Easter egged throughout this book. Then you understand it. You do not need to read those other two books to get a understanding and enjoyment out of this book, but it is good to have that sort of baseline to know where the family is, and when things are dropped about the other family members, then you know where it's coming from. So Regan ends up taking a family portrait that is super special to the Godwicks, and Arthur has to sort of sell himself to her to get the painting back. It's like a 10-day contract, and they explore lots and lots of different things. Like I said, dom sub situations, mystical things end up happening. If you've read any other Tiffany Reisz books, then you know there is going to be a gothic sort of mystical feel to it, and she does not fail in this one either. I am excited if there is going to be a fourth book, because I have a feeling just with some things that went on in this book that there is going to be a fourth book, and I'm really, really looking forward to that. So what am I currently reading? I am currently reading Loved by the Dragon, which is Stonefire Dragons 4.5 by Jessie Donovan. I'm a good chunk into that one. I could have finished it before I did this, but I chose not to because I had already put out my week in video. So yeah, I'm just adding it into next week. No sense. I'm also reading Twisted Love by Anna Huang and Collision by Kristen Granata. Oh my goodness, how could I not get that out correctly? Okay, so that is what is going on with me. Let me know if any of those books sound interesting to you, because I would love to discuss them with you. I will be putting out next month's book pick here shortly. I have decided to leave it open from like the 1st of the month to the 7th of the month. That gives 7 days for you guys to decide which book we're going to read, and then it'll give you 2 weeks to read it. And on the 3rd week, depending on which day we decide to choose on, 3rd week of every month is when we will do our Zoom meeting. So let's talk about things down in the comments. I will leave a list of all the books and things like that in the description box. But thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.